How to get a self-employed business loan up to 5,000 without a business checking account, without any credit requirements. You can use your personal checking account for business, get funding really fast to help you build, grow, and expand, as well as get out of a tight pinch, as well as get up to 25,000, up to 2 million, and so forth. I'll be getting into all of that in a moment in this video. But before I get started, if you're here right now, please give me a hashtag live in the comments or hashtag replay if you are watching during that time interval. Now, this is very exciting news. There's been a new launch. It's been live now, and this is for 1099 gig workers / independent contractors, small businesses that can get funding up to 5,000 as a 1099 with no credit requirements, and you can use your personal checking account for business. I'm going to be getting into some of those qualifications here in just a second, as well as going into some of the other services if you want up to 25,000, up to 2 million and beyond. I'll be touching slightly upon those, but there will be more content on this down below in the description, the link for you to go ahead and get started with this very safe and secure, hassle-free process to get started underneath, where you'll go through a page, you'll likely click on it, and you'll want to click a tab that says self-employed funding. It'll likely look like that. It might change a little bit over time, but that's where you will want to begin. Most of these applications go through all in one because they kind of sort out which service you'll qualify for. So there will be more information for you down below to go get started. But I'm going to switch tabs here. I'm not going to waste any more time. I welcome you guys in. I'm very happy you guys are here today. It's only Tuesday, and it feels like it's been 5 days already in the week that's passed. Yeah, yesterday, Monday, I had a lot of projects going on. A lot of things were in my mind, and I had one of these where I was like thinking here, and then something else would pull me here, and then I'd have to reshuffle here. So I had a lot of projects, a lot of things changing. So probably you saw a little bit less of me. You're like, yeah, I don't want to see too much of this guy. But let me get right into this. I have another tab open, but everything again will be down below in the description. There should be one there already sitting there for the independent contractors, gig workers, and so forth. But I'm trying to locate this right here. And let me just go into who would qualify for this, as in the types of industries. So over here, I'm just looking through my doc really quickly to make sure I have all of them. Okay. You have app-based freelancers, such as you have Uber, Lyft, rideshare. I know that's been a huge concern for a lot of Lyft, Uber, grocery delivery, shopping type of small business owners, 1099 independent contractors, gig workers. But now this service is available, and I'll show you some of those qualifications when I get done with this list. Handy, TaskRabbit, Care.com, Fiverr, Upwork, Airbnb, independent contractors such as event planners, home health aides, consultants, and freelancers, tutors, and trainers. You also have small businesses, so don't think that because you're not in this category, you won't get qualified. I'll get into another service where if you're doing 5,000 a month, what that would look like in a bit, as well as if you're doing 15,000 and above, or even 20,000, 30,000 and above, how much you could qualify for there. But stick with me. We have the truckers and taxi. I know that's an industry that I specialized in for a very long time, which is truckers, and I still do, as well as many other industries. And I've helped out businesses of all types, all backgrounds, all magnitudes, you name it, from startup, no startup is there private lenders, there's no true startup, there are back-end credit line hybrids building business credit, or if you have this revenue, how much can you qualify, time and business credit score, and as well as anybody doing 5,000 above, 20,000 per month, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, a million plus per month. I've helped out business owners of all magnitudes. And if I haven't gone back to you, by the way, I'll leave a questionnaire form down below in the description where you can simply fill out some funding details, where then it'll land in my email inbox, where then I will analyze it, evaluate it, and give you a proper response back via email on your best funding option and options, very thoroughly broken down. This is not going to waste any time. We're not talking about days here. weeks, months, and even years of sifting through all this old, outdated information. You probably went to an online marketplace that did not deliver, or you just had different expectations. So I'll educate you along the way. I'll also give you bonus content, bonus tips, as well as so much more on what I would recommend you do based upon your funding details and a bit of more information if need be. So that'll be down below in the description. And if you've already filled it out, great. I know there are some people who are like, well, you haven't gone back to me. I've been actually very, very busy, especially today too. So I'll do my best to get back to you. And it's a one-man show right now, but I'm usually good about doing it. Usually Fridays and Saturdays tend to be my catch-up days, and I put work in on those questionnaires. But usually in the week, I try to trickle some of them in there. So make sure you fill that out. That'll be the best way to see what would be the best opportunity for you. Now, you also have, aside from truckers and taxi, you have salons and beauty, lawn and pool care, bodegas, and food trucks, sellers and franchises, Amazon and Etsy, Avon, Amway, Herbalife, Mary Kay, and then Monat. Many, many more. It's not limited to just the ones I just mentioned here. There's only just a select few that I wanted to put on this list. Now, let me go into some of these features, and then I'll get into the qualifications. So let me move over here. So you get up to $5,000 in a funding amount for this specific service, and the approval amount is going to be 20 to 25% of your monthly revenue is what you will be approved for. That's if you are doing only $3,000 a month within each of the last 3 months, at least 3 months in business. But I'm gonna back up there a little bit. Let me move over here to make sure. Yeah, okay. Sometimes things change, so I want to make sure everything's aligned. So 20 to 25%. There are other services you're like, well, that's not what I got. Well, we're talking about the self-employed, 1099, non-W2, et cetera, type of individuals, as well as if you're a small business who has that and you don't qualify for more funding because of your revenue and so forth. This would be a service to go into, and you're like, well, how much will I get? 20 to 25% of your monthly revenue is what you can get approved for. On your average, on your lowest month, we look at those too as well. We make a calculation usually on your average, but just rest assured that that is what will happen. So average pricing is 1.39x your dollar amount. So we multiply the amount you get by that number, like 1.39, but it can vary. It can be as low as 1.2 and as high as a 1.6. Example, you get $1,000 and you pay back 1,390 on average. To some of you, you may be thinking, that's a little much. Don't you think? I mean, I got to pay 1,390 back in this amount of time. And well, the reasoning behind this is it's already high risk, right? You are in an industry, you are in a certain bracket of revenue and fundability details where we cannot just give you the amount of funding like you want 10,000. Well, we can only approve you for 20 to 25% of what you're doing on average, just about, or your lowest month. So what I say to people is, if you don't get approved for everything you want, this goes for anything. Take what you can get now. If it makes sense for you to go and apply it, you do. And then you come back after 50% of it is about paid off, or about an allotted 45 to 65 days, depending on the term too. We can add on funds in that time. You come back, you renew, and you get more. That's how this works. And then we can approve you for more funding, better rates, better terms, et cetera, et cetera. That is how this works. And that is anywhere. I know some people are like, well, I have a project, I got debt I got to pay off, and I got to pay my vendor programs, and I got to put some inventory. That is going to be, this amount and this amount, but you don't get approved for it because of your funding details. So what do? Well, I'll go see what else happens. I'll go shop around and they'll give me better terms and better rates. That's not always the case. Usually it's not. And when it is, you got to be careful about who you're going through. You don't know what lenders they're working with and what kind of stuff they're pulling out on the back end. So you have to be very careful about it. So what I tell people is that the benefit of you using it is not for like this project or this huger project or a multiple amount. You're like, well, I really need to use the funds. My ROI won't be in about 2 years. Then, okay, it makes more sense. And you have the funding details and it's justified. Or if you have a shorter term and you're like, I'm going to need to use it for this, I can't wait that amount of time. There's a purpose and a place and a time for everything. So just understand that you can always come back and get more. Weekly repayments only. That's what we have at this moment with this service. So yes, no daily, you don't got to worry about that. It'll be less, but in the grand scheme of things, when you're doing only like 3,000 a month, $20 or $30 per day payment could seem like a lot, right? And let me know in the comment section if you're very excited about this news. What do you want more to learn about business funding? Um, I'm on a tight schedule, so I have to keep moving. I have a few things I have to go take care of, but I'm really excited to reveal this to you, so I'm taking my time. So typical terms are 8 to 10 weeks. Typical new, so that's about, for 2.5 months or so. So typical new terms is 10 weeks. 10 weeks equals 2.5 months. Renewals are usually 16 weeks, which is 4 months. So what that means is if you get this amount, we can get you more, an extra 2 months or so for a renewal. So it isn't the 4 to 6 month time frame like you're going to see, or you probably heard me say with other products, or 4 to 24 months, 3 to 18 months, or 2+ years, 2 to 10, 5 to 25 years. It's not an idle loan. You guys have to really understand your business expenses. How does your accounting look in your business? Is your billing? How is everything, your payroll? Understand like a pie chart. If I'm looking at it, you might have one of these because I do. An Excel spreadsheet, I have tables that show me 25% of my income is going to this, 25% of the business income is going to that. What am I doing here? Boom, boom, boom. I have 75% that I have to put into my business for growth and expansion for this specific project or projects, or I may need it later. So let's do a line of credit instead. And then I'm going to apply that. But you have to understand that the benefit needs to exceed your repayment. If it is not, it would never make sense for you to move forward. But for somebody who's like, wow, $200, $300, that would be more than enough for my job as an Uber driver is what I'm doing, because I need to get a new tire. I need to get 4 tires. Actually, I need 800. See if I can get approved for more next time around. I'll take 300 now, and then I can come back and get more. This is the game that's supposed to be played. Yet so many people get caught up in, I just had individuals today submit questionnaires. I want 1.5 million or 2.5 million, 3.5 million, and I'm only doing 20,000 a month. Well, I have to bring them back to earth. Listen here, because these are not idle loans. I know you have the expectations that way, and I'm sorry, whoever hasn't educated you on what is available and how they work outside of these loans, the government-backed loans, but this is the economy. This is how the ways that it looks. This is the prime rates, and that is how this all is put together. So now let me get back into some of these. Typical terms, I went into that. Renewals are usually 16 weeks, which is 4 months, which I said. Personal checking account that can be used for businesses, and it's only for this service. No FICO credit score minimum / check in that regard. So no minimum requirements for the most part is what they're looking at, what they're not looking at. Product features, you get a simple hassle-free application process. Funding, it's up to $5,000 at this moment. No hidden fees whatsoever. You get a flexible payment schedule, get access to your funds within literally a snap of a finger, in minutes though. I wish it were seconds. I wish it were milliseconds. But this is going to be the most efficient way for you to go through. And no credit score requirements. That's a huge wow. When I first heard about all of this myself, I thought, oh, too good to be true. What's the catch? So there really isn't a catch. It's just understanding that your repayment needs to exceed needs to be down here. Your benefit needs to be up there. So what you're taking to use for what you have needs to exceed it. And it doesn't necessarily need to produce you a quote unquote ROI or say a significant amount or even a shorter amount. You just have to understand that if I'm taking this funding, what would it mean to you to apply a new tire to your car so you can get out again? You'd be able to pick up an extra 20 to 30 people, which would increase your revenue this time around by an extra $1,500 per month, as opposed to sitting at 500 or so per month. Might not be efficient enough to you. And the liberty of you driving out in the road, you feel the bottom of it. It just doesn't impact the car as heavily as it would when you had the treads on the older tire if it blew out. Now you're driving most comfortably. You're able to even sit back a little bit more when you're driving. I don't want you to do that, but I want you to feel as comfortable as you can, knowing that when you took the funding, it is going to be applied in the best and most efficient way ever. And then also, it helps you feel more safe and secure, as well as more confident every single day that you can wake up in the morning and get out on the road, or get out and do this, get out and go to your business, work from home, however you're doing it, and be able to be stress-free. At the end of the day, when you sit on the couch or you go out and enjoy a nice evening, a dinner, or you go out to an event, which I do with family and friends, I know this for a fact. I don't have to be stressing out about these things. I was in the very beginning. I don't want you to be going through those. And it is a reality of it. So here, no credit score requirements. You get instant cash available via debit card or transfer, full secure process and funding. The qualifications, 3,000 in monthly revenue, non-W2 revenue, 3 months time in business, proof of 1099, banking linking to check will be looked at, 100% automated and very safe and secure process. So this is all usually digitally. You just link your banking account, and this is very safe and secure. I get every day, everyone is asking me, well, what's the application process? And I have stuff for that, but what do I have to do here? Why is it asking me to link this up? Can I do it a different way? You may have to manually do it, but that's not what they want. They don't want to have to be getting people who start sending them emails about the 3 months of bank statements and then the voided check, copy of your driver's license. It's so safe and secure. Honestly, it really is. And I have other applications and applicants who go through it and they can testify that they've done this and they say, okay, well, yeah, it's very safe and secure. We're not getting that information and distributing it to like some falsy like creditor or some company over there on the side. We're not doing any of that. I would never feel comfortable. I wouldn't even be here right now doing this video. It just wouldn't happen. So just know that it's very safe and secure. And all the applications usually nowadays are 100% online. And there may be a digital and there may be a PDF format still in some of them. But for the most part, you're going to be seeing a lot of it being digitally. So with these fintech companies and so forth, that's what the expectations are. So some of the qualifications, as I have already mentioned, 3,000 in monthly revenue, non-W2 revenue. 3 months time in business is all we are asking for. That's minimal to some of the other ones you see out there, like 4 months, 6 months, 3 months time in business. Proof of 1099, like I said, and I kind of already did this, but 100% automated and very safe and secure of a process. Plaid is the linking company that's being worked with here, that's doing all the linking, so it's very safe and secure. 4 deposits per month minimum, non-W2 income deposits. So no if, and, or buts. That's what is required for that. For 4 deposits per month minimum, non-W2 income deposits. Hi, Arlene. With who specifically? Is it with the self-employed funding program, Bank Bree? There's a mix of them, and so the up to 2 million, the up to 25K, this partnership here, whichever one. So over here, industries, Giggle, finance, supports. I had already gone into that. Now let me kind of go away from this, and I have another tab open here so I can see that we have everything that I'm going to cover in this next about 5 minutes or so segment, because I have to get going as well. But everything, again, will be down below in the description for you if you need to learn more about this. So what will happen now that I'm not looking on a tab? Actually, let me get my document, see if this one's what I need. Okay, so yeah, let me go through this part. So it's really a simple 3-step process. Apply, you get approved, and then you get funded. Complete our simple application and securely verify your bank account in minutes. Instant approval, review your terms in seconds, access your funds instantly. So it's very safe and secure. The partnership here that is done through this program is legitimate. The benefits are off the roof. Everything you get through all of this. Breezy online process, answer a few questions, you get to link all that, review approval terms, accept the funding offer, and then you get to receive your funds. Simple and fair, no hard credit inquiries, transparent terms, no collateral for this is required. Get more when you need it. Payment history will earn you more. Receive funds in time and time again. Add-on funds are available. So again, all that will be down below. Now, let's say you qualify for more. Let's say you're doing, let's say you have more than 3,000 in a month in revenue. Let's say you're doing 5,000 and above, but not more than 15,000. So 5 to about 14,000, 5 to 15,000. Again, nothing over 15,000. Now, do you happen to know the case why, Arlene? I haven't possibly looked into it so much more as myself right now because I have had a few things going on. But what will happen is if you're doing 5,000 and above in monthly revenue on average, and even on your lowest month, then you can qualify for a service up to 25,000 same day instant approval. So with about 6 months in business there, that'll get you qualified. And sometimes that can change in time, but it's right now where we have it at is that. And you can get approved up to 75% of your average monthly sales, your lowest monthly sales in the last 3 months. And that's what is the expectations there. and some of the rates that are included is called the total payback. So we do between a 1.19 to a 1.69 for that service. So what I'm talking about here are normally what are called cash advances, not technically a business loan. Title may read a little bit differently, but I want you to know that these are cash advances against your future receivables. And sometimes they take a future percentage of your credit card receivables, but not with what partnerships are here. These won't take a future percentage of that. There is nothing that works like a traditional MCA, merchant cash advance. These are a hybrid that you're going to get into from now on. So that's how what these are. Not technically a business loan, depending on the state, more as a cash advance. And so there's hybrids and there's traditional ones. I work with a lot of them that are both. There's hybrid ones as well. So over here, what we have is the up to 75% if you're doing 5,000 and above, but less than 15,000. And then I can speak with you a little bit more, Arlene, outside of this to see what's happening. But if you're doing less than 15,000, that's what you'll qualify for, the up to 25K service, where you'll get up to 75% on your average and even on your lowest. We'll have to look at the two. And there are more details that are included into that, but I won't cover that. I'll try to leave more information of that down below if necessary. But also we have the line of credit program up to 100,000 and even over 100,000, up to 250,000, over 250,000 with secured collateral with assets behind that. And then you also have the up to 2 million cash advance service, where we also will give you, if you're doing 15,000 and above right now, sometimes it depends on the lenders too, but 15,000 and above, you can get up to 75% of your average monthly sales and your lowest monthly sales, as well as up to 200%, or in some cases up to 150%, which is a lot of the time. But those are some of the services that are available. And I won't get into specifically what the application process is, what are the rates. I have separate stuff I'll try to link to you down below in the description for all of that. But the questionnaire, everything you need to know to get started will be down below on how to get a self-employed business loan, more so a cash advance. And they are exceptionally well. And, you know, this will help you build, grow, expand, and even get out of a tight pinch. And I covered everything that you need to know about who would qualify for that, for the 1099 gig worker, self-employed, and what we're looking at for qualifications, the industries, app-based freelancers, small business, independent contractors, sellers and franchises, and just so forth there. Let me see if I missed anything. I'm looking at a new tab of mine. Let's see. So yeah, only business owners and self-employed individuals. Your business must be established for at least 3 months for this specific service. And then I spoke about the other ones, the up to 25K if you're doing 5,000 and above, but less than 15,000, about 6 months in business. And you have to be doing at least 5,000 plus per month. And then the other one, 15,000. And then there's a line of credit program, 15,000 and above, sometimes 10,000 and above. But everything will be down below in the description. This is very exciting stuff. So make sure you check all of that out. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I can feel free to voice them for me down below in the description. And for all information, or comments I meant, please feel free to look in the description for all information for you to get started with this application process that's very safe and secure again. And it would be nice because you're going to get started and you'll probably be asked a few questions. Depending on what you answer, you'll qualify for a specific tier. You may not qualify for anything if you don't have the revenue or so forth. But if you qualify, if you do 5,000 more, it might take you to another service, and it's just very well put together. So that is everything from me. I will talk to you all soon. If you got value out of this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you feel anybody else will get value out of it, please share it with them. Let them know about this funding service and a few of the other ones available that I didn't get into as specifically because I wanted to focus on one. But that'll be everything from myself. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.